What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Um, Game three went to the Los Angeles Clippers. The final score was 106-92. Um, look, the Clippers had a big third quarter, and I've noticed that quite frequently in these playoffs, it's been the third quarter when the Clippers are on that they've kind of broke the game away from their opponents. So if you're the Phoenix Suns, you got to kind of key in on that because the Clippers have been having some big third quarters when they have been playing well, and that's been a difference maker in a lot of these games and ultimately these series. Now, Paul George had 27 points. He didn't shoot the ball particularly well, but sometimes that's overstated, as I've said before. Sometimes people put too much stock on field goal percentage and not when you're making these baskets. You know what I'm saying? Look, you can have a guy that shoots technically 50% from the floor, but what difference does it make if most of those shots he's making is earlier on in the game, but then when the team needs him to make these shots, he's bricking, like a Joe Harris. But anyway, Paul George also had 15 rebounds and 8 assists, and I believe he went 6 or 7 from the line. Terrence Mann had 12 points. Zubac had a huge game. This might have been the best game of his playoffs so far. 15 points, 16 rebounds. Reggie Jackson, who's probably been their most consistent player in these playoffs, 23 points. Patrick Beverly had 8 points and 6 rebounds. Morris had 8 points. Kennard had 9 points. Nicholas Batum had 4 points. Now for the Suns, Jay Crowder fouled out of this game. He had 9 points and 6 rebounds. Bridges had 13 points, 6 rebounds. DeAndre Ayton had 18 points and 9 rebounds, but he was not as uh, he was not as dominant as he was in Game One, where of course he had the game-winning alley-oop dunk. Devin Booker has not been right since he's had his nose broken by Bushroot from Darkwing Duck, aka Patrick Beverly. He was held to 15 points, and I think he only shot 5 of 21 from the floor. Chris Paul, who hadn't played basketball, I think, in about 12 days, obviously didn't have his win. Coming from, he's recovering from, I guess, apparently a mild case of COVID, a very mild case, but still, his win wasn't right. I believe the coach said that, he made a mistake, perhaps leaving Chris Paul out there on the floor too long. But you can't really fault Monty Williams because, of course, old Marty Marr, aka Cameron Payne, the hero of Game Two, went out with an injury, so he had to play Chris Paul extended minutes. But Chris Paul just was not there. 5 of 19 from the floor, 15 points and 12 assists. Interestingly, the 15 points and 12 assists is exactly what Abiyoyo, aka King Kong, uh, King Kong, aka Kendrick Krundrick Perkins, Kendrick Perkins predicted that he was going to get in the pregame. But the Clippers just weren't. The Clippers just wanted it more, man. The Clippers wanted it more. They were the more aggressive team, and Phoenix didn't match their energy. And one thing about the Clippers is when their backs are against the wall, they come out with a whole different type of aggression. For Phoenix to win this game, they have to match their aggression. Um, I also have to say this though. Patrick Beverly breaking Devin Booker's nose has altered this series because now Devin Booker has not been nearly as aggressive. Um, and that could look, the Suns can still win this series. Game 4 is going to be very important to me because if the Clippers win Game 4, I think this series is going to go 7. If the Phoenix Suns win Game 4, I think it's quite possible that this series could be over in 5. The Clippers play is good because even if the Clippers are down 3-1, I don't think they're going to come back from that. But if the Clippers win Game 2, this series is going to go probably 7, and it's going to be one hell of a Game 7 in my opinion. But tell me what you guys think, man. What do you take away from this game, and who you think's going to win this series? But shout out to Paul George. You know what I'm saying? He may not be shooting the basketball very well overall, but he has clearly carried this team in the absence of Kawhi Leonard. That's another thing that has to be brought up. When and if Kawhi Leonard comes back. Now, I don't know where his progress is at this point. I heard speculation that if the Clippers make it to the finals, that he'd be available, but could he be available before that? And if he does come back, does that change the trajectory of this series? You know, that's the thing. You know, um, but that remains to be seen. Um, I don't think that he'll be cleared for Game 4. Game 5 might be something else, but it depends on how badly his knee was hurt. But we'll see. Tell me what you guys think.